Good morning, students. This is general knowledge, class 7, and chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is turtles and tortoises, and chapter 2 is migratory birds. Okay, all of you are following? Now, I'll share the screen, and accordingly, you can follow up. Okay. Right. So let us start. Turtles and tortoises. That is chapter 1. And yes, so turtles are one of the oldest and most primitive groups of reptiles. Their earliest known relative date back to the Jurassic period, about 157 million years ago, and they have undergone very little physical change since that time. In the evolutionary process, turtles developed earlier than birds, crocodiles, snakes, and the lizards. Well, many species of turtles are threatened, endangered, or critically endangered. Some live on land, some in the sea, some in fresh waters, and some both on land and in water. Turtles and tortoises are slightly different from each other, though they have similar features. Now let us do the exercise. And the first exercise is fill in the blanks. The first one is turtles and tortoises have an upper shell that is a modified rib cage. Tortoises have a heavier and more dome-shaped shell than turtles do. This top shell is called the carapace, and the softer shell beneath it is called the plastron. Second one, tortoises are land animals. They rarely swim. They walk slowly on the ground with their short, stocky legs, and most of them live in fresh water or the sea and have flippers and webbed feet. The third one, turtles spend most of their lives in water and have a streamlined body. The fourth one, aquatic turtles lay their eggs in holes in the sand, cover them, and return to the water. Once the eggs hatch, the hatchlings head for the water. In some turtle species, the temperature of the sand determines the gender of the hatchling. The fifth one. May 23rd is celebrated as the World Turtle Day to raise awareness about turtle conservation. Sixth one. The only giant tortoises remaining on Earth are found in the Seychelles atoll and on the Galapagos island of Ecuador. Seventh one. The largest living turtle is the leatherback sea turtle. It can weigh over 600 kilograms. Its shell is covered by skin and oily flesh. These turtles have very few natural predators. A group of turtles is called a whale, and a group of tortoises is called a tree. 9 turtles that live on land and in water are called terrapins. 10th one. Tortoises have one of the longest lifespan of any animal and therefore symbolize longevity in many cultures. For Indians and the Chinese, the tortoise is a symbol of the universe. Down to the next page. Next page. Migratory birds. That is the second chapter. Migratory birds. Okay. Birds migration is the seasonal movement of birds between breeding grounds and wintering grounds. It helps them to find nesting grounds and food and avoid cold weather. It is a common phenomenon among birds of the northern hemisphere. Most migrations occur in a north-south direction. The migratory patterns of birds are now tracked by banding the legs of these birds with tracking chips and then using satellites to identify their path of movement and obtain information about their migration routes and patterns. Let us see the exercise. Match these images with the threats to birds during migration. First picture shows predator. Second one, that is E bar, stormy weather. The third one, the windmills. The fourth one, F, power lines. The fifth one, the B1, window collisions. And the sixth one is the D1, solar panels. Below are some migratory birds that stop in India. Birds navigate guided by the sun and the stars, the Earth's magnetic field, and sometimes landmarks such as rivers, mountains, or coastlines. They have a mineral in their beaks called magnetite that acts like a compass. And these are a few birds you can see here. They come to India, migrate to India. First one is Siberian crane. Second one is greater flamingo. Third one is blue throat. Fourth one is starling. And the fifth one is spotted sandpiper. Down to the next page. Page number 7. Fun time. State if the following sentences about bird migrations are true or false. The first one is all species of birds migrate. The answer is false. The second one, birds sometimes take a long detour from their migration route to avoid oncoming wind patterns in the atmosphere? The answer is true. The third one, birds' migration routes are along straight lines. The answer is false. The fourth one, birds eat more and store a special high energy fat in their bodies before every migration. Yes, it is true. Fifth one, migration can happen during the day or at night depending on the species. Answer is true. The sixth one, birds begin their migration on the same day each year. And the answer is false. Name the following. First one, a scientist who studies birds. And the answer is ornithologist. The second one, the bird man of India is Salim Ali. The third one, the oldest water bird sanctuary in India. And the answer is Vedanta Amgal. Okay, that's all for today. And children, please see that you do this exercises in your books, and after that, just see that you memorize them and start learning them time to time so that you don't have any problem later when you have to answer your exam or you have to give your okay. That's it. So that's all for today and goodbye.